Mr. Juan is the current head of data analytics at Jakarta Smart City. His key role is to fully utilize data to formulate public policy and to improve quality of public services. He is actively planning, building, and delivering digital and data product portfolios. He's also actively analyzing complex and diverse urban data on a daily basis, citizen complaint aspiration, transportation mobility, health, flood, CCTV, etc. In order to build an exciting and innovative digital ecosystem in Jakarta, he's also developing and aligning strategic partnership frameworks between Jakarta Smart City with other government agencies, business enterprises, research agencies, and universities. We are now ready to begin with your presentation, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the kind introduction. Maybe before I share my screen and present, let me double check about the timing that I have here. From what I know, I have around 15 to 20 minutes for my presentation.
Yes, you can take 20 minutes for your presentation, and then we can save 10 minutes for Q&A.
Okay, sure. I think I am happy to hear more questions if there are any. So yeah, I would like to discuss more and give further response. So let me share my screen in that case. I hope everyone is able to see my screen, and let me present this fully. So maybe, Ms. Dixa, can you see my screen? Okay, good.
Yes,
so, okay, I can see my video, but please give me a note, a verbal note if there is disruption with my internet. So just in case my voice is not clear. So yeah, thank you for the introduction. So I think I will deliver a session with this topic shared by the organizer, opportunities under upcoming smart cities in Asia. For sure, I will use the lens of the smart city and some of the examples and statistics. I will use the one that I am more familiar with, which is to be specific in the Southeast Asia context. But for sure, you can use that as a reference or as a lens to see the exciting development of smart city. So as has been introduced, I'm the creator of data analytics at the Smart City. I'm also involved and responsible for some of the digital products, as already mentioned by the moderator. Let me go to the next one. So again, my slides, I think, should be open. So for the organizer, feel free to distribute further my slides to all the relevant participants. And this is my business card, and this is my website as well. So if you want to take a look and you want to reach me, there's a contact section over there. So I'm open for further discussion, collaboration, and so on. Again, in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I will go through with you very briefly, I believe, some of the key points and trigger about the key these subtopics. So the first one is about the overview about Jakarta Smart City. The second one is the overview as well about the data analytics at Jakarta Smart City. And then the last one is the key content for this presentation, which is about the future of smart cities in Asia. So I think I will go through very briefly the first 2 points, and I will spend a bit more time and give elaboration for the third topic, which is the key essence of my presentation. So now we start with the introduction and context of Jakarta Smart City. So we are fully aligned with the vision and direction from our governor, vice governor, and also head of agency, whereby we are moving towards City 4.0. There are many definitions, but in short, one of the key criteria will be the interaction between government and citizen. So as a government, we are not only providing policy, information, and so on, but we want to sit down together with the citizen to think through about the complex challenges in the city and develop exciting and collaborative solution. That's the idea. Again, this is the framework of smart city. So in the end, what we want to achieve, the center circle in the middle is the innovative and developed city, and also the prosperous citizens. So if you take a look at the second blue circle, I will not go through one by one. We have 4 principles: mobile first, system data driven, smart collaboration, and digital experience. So based on these principles, we derive our projects, initiative, and so on. So right now we are updating our milestone in the next 3 to 5 years, up to 2027. So these are some of the key initiatives that we are building in Jakarta Smart City. Some of them I will share and give further elaboration later. The next one, this is the trajectory of smart city itself. So in the end, what we want to be is the smart city as an ecosystem, whereby we are not only operating as a unit, but we can work together with other smart cities. We can work with all the digital players, can be from the government, from the industry, from the startups, international organizations, and so on. Because in the end, we believe that smart cities should give a more comprehensive and wider benefits here and influence to the ecosystem. And this is just some example of smart city, our monitoring room with the real-time 24-hour CCTV. This is our lounge for our staff and employees. I think with the COVID-19 context, we use only 20 to 30% of the capacity. And this the team member in Jakarta Smart City. This is photo is taken before COVID-19. So this is a very brief overview for Jakarta Smart City. And let me talk a bit more about my team, which is the data analytics and also digital products at Jakarta Smart City. So what I can share with you, I think it in a very simple words, the purpose of my team, because I need to present this to many high-level leadership, can be ministers, governors, and so on. So I think in the very basic and simple words, the role of my team is to make better decision faster. Nothing more, nothing less. It can be about operational decision, about the complaint from the citizen, about trash, about traffic, and so on. Can be a more strategic how, let's say, we tackle the systematic challenges of COVID-19, how we plan about the possible movement to capital city, and how we can prepare the uniqueness of Jakarta as the, let's say, economic and digital city. So we are doing that as well. And for sure, we align with the smart city vision to improve the satisfaction from our citizen and to improve as well our public policy and public services. This is my team member. I will not go through very details here. So we have data science team, business analyst team, machine learning pipeline team, and also research partnership and internship collaborator. Next one, this is some of the data that we are processing in Smart City, citizen aspiration, transportation, tax, flood, and so on. I will share more details later on in the example so you have a better idea about this. This is another example of collaboration. When we talk about ecosystem, we are very open. This is just one example when we collaborate with European Union, with Germany, and even some other countries, including Japan, Korea, US, ASEAN countries, and so on. So we want to build innovation hub, smart city labs. We want to encourage the development of the local digital startups and so on. This is one of the idea whereby we have the lab concept, whereby we consolidate our problem statements. There are strategics. We also consolidate our data, existing works, and we want to sit down and work together with some of the research agency and also the local startups, how we can build the solution together. And we help them to also test the pilot idea, and if it is good, then we can scale this up into the city level. That is the working model in Jakarta Smart City. And this is our so-called super apps platform. Feel free to download this as well. You can type Jaki, Jakarta Kini, whereby we integrate numerous services from the government into this platform. So in Jakarta alone, we have 200 to 300 government agencies. So we want to prioritize which service that is critical for the citizen and how we should build and enable that from our super apps. That's why in here, we are consolidating the resources and we align the efforts required from all the agencies. So these are some of the examples. We have the digital ID, payment features. We have the features to support COVID-19, chatbot, and so on. So I think let me just jump here. So these are some of the services that we have. It covers quite a number of sectors from healthcare, from manpower, education, food security, and so on, including, I think one of the most mature service in Jakarta Smart City is the citizen complaint system, whereby we can really understand the aspiration from our citizen and we escalate to the relevant government agencies. So we on a monthly basis, we receive around 10,000 to 15,000 aspiration and complaints from our citizens, and we follow up all the aspirations with the relevant agencies. This is some of the example of the dashboard. So we have the city dashboard, whereby we monitor some of the key metrics like the subsidy utilization, the context of the flood, of the traffic jam, the number of the responses and aspiration for the citizens, and so on. Even we do that to monitor the performance of our government agency from the department level all the way to the individual level. So my team is fully involved here. And again, we have been dealing with the COVID-19 for almost 2 years plus. So yeah, this is the typical website that we have to understand the demography. And based on that, we build data-driven policy recommendation can be for healthcare, for education, for citizenship, mobility, and so on. Let me just go through with some of the examples, the way we use machine learning to really detect the usage of mass, and also the way we monitor, let's say, the movement and also the pattern in the mobility and for transportation. I think those are some of the examples of data analytics and digital capability that we have been building in Jakarta Smart City. Now let me just come to the final section, which is about the future of smart city. So to be very open, I've been thinking and also working on this topic in the past few years. And I think moving forward, it's very exciting. I think for COVID-19, it has brought a significant impact. For sure, there are many negative impacts. But in terms of the digitalization and then the adoption of the innovation, I think there are certain positive aspects on that angle. And I believe the role of smart city is not only building the smart city unit or institutions, but we can bring better impact and we can collaborate in the more flexible and in a faster way. That's why I think I want to argue that the future of smart city should touch about the digital economy and then also the social aspect of the citizen and also some of the concrete benefits to the citizen. That's why I will start with some of the statistics. I think in terms of the internet economy in Southeast Asia, I think some of the statistics that I am familiar with, we see the pattern from 2015, 18 to 25. There are many exciting growth in terms of the market size. And I think just to share a bit for the Smart City, we are not only as a government unit, but we are now a regional service agency, whereby we have capability and flexibility to manage our budget, to manage our operation, and to manage our digital product as well. Even there is possibility that we can work with the industry, with the research agency, and so on. That's why in terms of the financing and monetization, we are not only relying on the city budget or the government budget or from the tax from our citizen, but we can be partially more independent and can be more robust in delivering our product and services. Again, we involve as well very closely in the ASEAN Smart Cities Network. And I believe within this network, we have been collaborating with countries like Japan, Korea, with US, and even some countries in the European Union as well. I think based on this framework, if you see at the right diagram, there are three at least key indicators over there: high quality of life, competitive economy, and sustainable environment. I believe those are the key indicators and targets that we also share in Jakarta Smart City. And from there, we try to build our initiative, services, and so on. And I think those three targets are not only owned by Jakarta Smart City or by Smart City Initiative, but it can be shared as well with other government agency, industry, startup players, and so on. So holistically, as an ecosystem, we can work together to achieve those directions. This is some of the ecosystem that I know. I quote this from CB Insights. For sure, there are more players over here. So I think the simple idea of Jakarta Smart City, there are two points with this ecosystem. First one, if there are existing players, we want to work with them because I think moving forward, we should collaborate more. We should know our strength. We should know our weakness and how we can work together in the complementary initiative to bring more concrete benefits for our citizens. That's the first point. And second one, we also want to groom our local startups. Even we encourage some of our employees who already move on from Smart City to build their own company. Even we work with some of the universities, local startups, and so on. How do we can bring and deliver certain solutions? Can be about parking, can be about transportation, can be about COVID-19, citizenship, education, and so on. I think I myself also involved as the mentor for some of the early digital startups in Jakarta, Indonesia, and also in Asia. So I think this is one of the idea whereby Smart City can concretely involve and deliver the development of digital economy and then the digital startups in the region. And it's the idea that I have, and I keep sharing this. I like the idea of the modular smart city, whereby we know there are so many smart cities initiatives, I think in Asia, in the world as well. I think the concept is how we can work together in a more seamless way. We know in the international relation, we need to tackle the administration, bureaucracy, and so on. But when it comes to the technical execution, technical collaboration, I think we should have like the modular concept whereby we can plug and play. We can choose what kind of services that we can collaborate together. And from there, we can test, experiment with some of the exciting initiatives across smart cities. Let's say the way we work maybe in the future with Singapore, with Japan, with Thailand, and so on. Then from there, we can test, we agree with certain use cases, and we can see whether the impact will be reasonable and systematic across the region or across the countries. I think those are the ideas, and I think that's the exact mindset when we build the super apps ecosystem in Jakarta Smart City. So the idea is services, applications, data, API can be integrated, can be tested, can be experimented as well. So to see what are the impacts to the ecosystem and to the citizens. And this is some framework that I also emphasize from USA framework over here. Again, I just want to highlight the importance of digital economy, infrastructure adoption, the digital society. And again, this is some of the smart city initiative whereby we can bring a concrete economic development. So in the end, smart city unit or smart city initiative should be sustainable. We are not only relying from the government or from the budget or from the tax to operate our smart city, but we can be more independent progressively, and we can deliver a more concrete and exciting services to our citizens. Let me stop my screen sharing and give my closing statement. So I think before I address some of the questions, so I want to highlight to you, I think when you see or hear about smart city, you are not only referring to certain unit in government, but it should be a concept and paradigm whereby a city should work together with all the elements and components in the city, in the country, in the ecosystem, and how we can think through a solution that can bring impact, strategic impact to the city, to the country, and we see the way we can collaborate in the fair and in the feasible working and business model. I think that is the note, and I believe this is the future trajectory of the direction of smart city, not only in Asia, I believe in the global scale as well. I think that's my presentation. I'm happy to address maybe questions for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you.